Guys, welcome everyone. If you're joining us live in the Zoom or if you're on the Facebook group, my name is Andrew Kamide. I'm a CEO and co-founder of ChatHQ. Sergio, CTO, co-founder of ChatHQ, is here with us, and we have Melissa and Stephanie Blair, the mother-daughter duo. That is they're going to be talking about their Cultivating Sales high-level certification program today. We're going to talk about our partnership, how we came about like partnering, and where the benefits are to everyone that's watching, if you're a high-level agency. So without further ado, not to take up some of the stage time, I want to give the floor to Melissa and Stephanie. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. I will jump in if need be. If you have any questions for us, for ChatHQ, or for Cultivating Sales, go ahead and throw them in the chat. You can also throw them on the Facebook Live, or you could raise your hand, and we're going to get to Q&A at the end of this, so you can have an opportunity to actually physically ask any of us questions regarding services and products. So without further ado, Melissa and Stephanie Blair, take it away and show us what you got.
Well, I think Stephanie is going to be talking more than I am, so I'll just introduce who we are and how we got into High Level to start with. And we stumbled upon High Level about 3.5 years ago. Met with Sean Clark. He said, hey, what we're building is everything you're asking for. And so I crossed my fingers and toes and jumped in with both feet. And lo and behold, High Level has built out everything. I mean, I think anybody that's in High Level now knows that they have far surpassed our expectations. It has just been incredible. The difficult part, and the reason the certification came about, is we work with a lot of our clients, and they have virtual assistants, or they want to hire a virtual assistant to help them in the platform. A lot of them are DIYing it, or they're hiring us or a VA to help with. And we found that in working with the VAs, a good portion of them weren't the right fit for this kind of endeavor. They might be really good at posting on social media, or going through somebody's email address or emails and doing that, or writing emails or whatever. But the brain that works best for High Level is one that's very analytical and very detail oriented.
Yeah, right. Especially from a higher perspective, like not just like one thing, but being able to see everything in one big view, right?
So we took a look, and one of our automation architects is here today, Susie Moon. We looked at the people that were really doing well with our clients and said, we want more people like Susie Moon. I mean, literally, that was, we used to say, we need more Susie Moons. And we just found it hard. And so people would bring their own VAs. I thought that was the answer, and it wasn't. We almost lost one client because she said, well, now we have to go buy Teachable because, or something like that, because you don't have a course builder. I'm like, yeah, we have a course builder. And they're like, oh, no, my VA said you don't. Or that, in a lot of cases, it was they didn't want to learn it, or they weren't good at it. So
nor should they have to, because they're the small business owners running the business. They shouldn't be writing every email and making a trigger and doing this and that.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's when we decided, actually, I can't say we, it was Stephanie. She said, why don't we build out a training program for the people that want to learn the software? And so she spent almost a year building this all out. And we were surprised, because when people started signing up, it wasn't necessarily the VA signing up wanting to learn the system so that they could work with our clients. It was clients signing up saying, I need to learn High Level faster, or agencies, or the agencies were putting their employees through it. So what we thought was our market was the VA market, and we're still definitely have VAs going through and getting certified. And we're looking for more. We can't keep, Susie told us again the other day, I'm at full capacity. I can't take it.
If you're watching this and you're a VA, or you want to be a VA for High Level, this is your opportunity to learn High Level.
We have a lot of
get in on the ground floor. Yep.
We have a lot of, through not just us, but all high-level agencies have clients that are looking for help. And
Right.
to get that training where you can get up and running and you can really prove that you know this stuff, because a lot of people say they know it and they really don't. I think we've all experienced that.
Amen.
It is so
And it
frustrating.
takes more time out of our days to have to train them and remind them constantly to say, you said something really powerful earlier, that a VA told their client or your client who was employing them, there wasn't a membership builder. So there's not a unified central source of information, because one VA hasn't experienced something that the other did, or maybe they don't have access to it. So they don't have that type of information to even give to their client.
Or even the clients themselves, how can they keep track of, I mean, we, as you guys know, and high level releases new things every day. And so it's a lot to absorb. And so those VAs, those what we call automation architects, they're the ones that are spending their time keeping up on one system, not ClickFunnels and Calendly and Kajabi and all these other systems. They only have to keep up on this one system. And we work with them extensively, because we'll say we want the client to understand the software, but we really want your resource person to really understand and keep up on the software. So we invite them to our open office hours and do all that. So that's kind of how that came from. I'm going to probably turn it over to Steph now, because she's actually did all the work.
So like Melissa said, I spent the last year building this, and the biggest obstacle was there's so, and like we've all mentioned and experienced, there's so much to the system. There's so many little tweaks and things. And a lot of it I still can't cover in the certification, because that's just experience. I've said before in other things that I wish I could take a flash drive and just give it to you, but I can't. So with this certification, there's the 3 levels, and I'll get more into those in a second, but it's so powerful to know that if you're hiring somebody off of the directory, or somebody that is certified at all, or you're training somebody to be certified, whatever you're doing there, they know this baseline amount of knowledge. And you know that out of this, they are going to leave with this guaranteed amount of knowledge, and they won't get certified until they do. Until they prove to me that they have learned that and are able to apply it. And so I am 100% there every time.
So many questions here.
And you and it's funny, because we've talked about this before, Steph, where for over a year, like I was going to the town halls every week, and for over a year you had a lot of questions, and the first time I had seen like one of your questions, I saw like 2 or 3 in the same town hall, like, who is this person? Like, there's so many questions. And you're like, no, I'm learning this, I'm jumping in head first. You took everything you learned and you applied it. So the experience part is so key, right?
And it was COVID, like that. If you heard my other stories of how I got started, I started because I got kicked out of COVID, kicked out of dorms. Everyone was sent home because of COVID. I had literally nothing else to do than sit and learn this. And I ended up being really good at it, and I ended up really liking it. And then we have, like my mom said, that we have open office hours 3 times a week. We have live sessions. I make courses, workbooks, guides, transcripts, just like every form of help I could think of. I have created in this. And it's because at those open office hours, I was answering the same questions over and over again. And we were sick and tired of having clients be not as efficient in the software, VA's not as efficient in the software, we're losing clients, high levels losing clients, everything, like nobody wins. And then, so I was like, no, I need to how can I take my brain and do this? And like through the whole point of me learning, I had been creating different like workbooks and stuff, like I mentioned, to say, and I've used those for the certification because that's what I needed at that time of when I was learning it. And now maybe I'm this far ahead and I don't need those resources anymore, but that doesn't mean that when I was at that point I didn't, and I wouldn't. And so I like taking those and updating them, but then still really making it what you need at that point in time. That's why we created it.
So This is really interesting to me, because as I mentioned before we started recording, before I became a full-time software engineer, I was already working as a software engineer, but I was an educator for 5 years at the electrical engineering school in Havana. So like education is something that's close to my heart, and I love what you guys are doing. But it's a hard thing to do, and it's a hard thing to build a syllabus that makes sense, that you see it, like its students see it, and then it's really
That
clear what it
flows
is and how it
connects.
flows and what am I getting out of it and what is my commitment and where is the how much effort I put in and time I put in and exactly what I get back. And I love that you're laying that out super clear for people to understand. So I have one big question is, how did you come up with the idea of separating it in modules and have each module be a self-contained deliverable?
Yeah, I think that's a really amazing question. And to start that out, I think I'm going to start by explaining those 3 levels and what they even are.
Please.
And then I can go more into why I thought those were necessary. So I have this little Google slide here just for visual aid purposes. So we already kind of talked about why we built it. And then what you'll learn in this program overall is you'll be able to understand all the key takeaways and functions of every feature in the system. And that goes for the Cultivating Sales Pro, which is our agency that we've customized more, and just the GHL platform itself, as well as understanding the best ways to troubleshoot when something misfires, is set up incorrectly, or glitches, access to various workbooks to enhance your retention of all the information, understand how to effectively piece together different features and tools to present the best way to build a given project, use the processes and resources you built throughout the course as templates for your own businesses and to use with your clients. And you get consistent feedback from me and opportunities to meet with me, support, and a bunch of other stuff throughout. So we talked a little bit about the structure. There's those 3 levels, and those levels are silver, gold, and diamond. And the reason why I wanted to split it up is because it's extremely overwhelming, to put it very, it's just extremely overwhelming. And anybody that has worked in the system for a minute knows that, and that and I've said to our clients so many times, it's the biggest benefit and it's the biggest crutch of the software, because you can do so much, but oh my God, you can do so much.
Right, it's like it's a blank slate. It's you get in and you don't know where to start. It's a
or if you watch a video, okay, that's great, but what do I do for my business and my thing that I'm doing and all of that? Right. So in silver, I wanted to break it up because it's a little bit more digestible and easier to kind of absorb. And then we take a break at each level and take a quiz to ensure that you're learning what you need to before you start piggybacking off of that.
One thing we should say too, and you might get to it, Steph, sorry, but everybody gets a Sandbox account so that they're not messing with their own account, or if they don't have an account yet, they literally get in there and start building stuff without even having an account.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that part, Steph.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's a builder account.
Yeah.
Totally. And like there's some templates in there when you start. There's some stuff.
Oh wow, hands-on. So not only is it a college, this is the way I see it. I see it as a college level style course. Yeah. And not only is it that, it's a hands-on workshop because you're giving people things to do. So here, but we're at the 15 mark really quick before you keep going. Yeah. Everyone that's watching, we have some cool stuff that we're going to save till the end, some promotional things. So if you stick around to the end, or if you're watching the replay, yay. But if you stick around to the end, you'll hear exactly what we're talking about. We have a promotion. Cultivating Sales has a promotion, and we want to hook you guys up.
And it's
so
a
stick
limited
around.
one. So
it's limited. It's limited. So.
Also, if there are things that come up along the way, like we have a question from Mark, and we'll get to it in a bit.
Yeah.
If you have any questions that come up along the way, throw them in the chat, please.
Yep.
That's my job. I will answer it.
Yeah,
is what I do.
Cool. All right. So keep going.
You're giving people the keys to the kingdom. You're setting them up with a Sandbox account. They can go crazy and they can experiment with the platform.
For life,
hands-on.
For life.
For life.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
Yeah. So just a little bit more about each level. The silver is where we talk about each feature and what it does. And at first it's going to seem like, okay, what about it? I'm watching all these videos. What are they? But it's more of just like familiarizing yourself. You're going in and you're building a form just to see what it's like to build a form, right? And then in gold, you're taking those features. Now that you understand how they work, how can we put them together to make an effective process? And those processes I base off of the 7 different project types that I have not created, but
Worked
labeled,
on,
I guess.
Yeah.
defined, yeah.
So there's about 7 different common projects that pretty much any client request boils down to 1 or 2 of those, whether you put them together, tweak one, whatever. So I teach you what those 7 projects are and how we can apply them. And then in Diamond is when you get challenges and other troubleshooting lessons, strategy lessons, stuff like that. But you also get 6 strategy challenges that is literally a half-written email from a client saying, hey, I need this, 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 and this. I need this by this date and this special request thing that you might not be able to do. I don't know. Can you tell me? And
Right,
like,
Put a finger down if you had that happen to you.
The
Yeah.
train,
Yeah.
2 trains leave the station at the same
Yeah.
time, going in opposite directions. Figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And
that's the hypotenuse of
genius.
the blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then, like I mentioned, each level has a quiz at the end that I personally grade. And you get the feedback for all of that. And you get, if you pass, you get access immediately to the next level. If you don't, you get a chance to try again.
Steph, you've got a couple of great analogies, and you can tell me if you're going to hit them already, but your analogy of like letters, words, sentences, I think is a really good one for your silver, gold, and diamond.
Yeah, so that's actually a great segue here. The silver level, like I said, it's meant to familiarize yourself with the software. So I say, learn your ABCs. You got to start somewhere. You got to learn your letters. You got to learn what each thing does. So we talk about what those expectations are of the course, customizing account settings like users, integrations, domains, talk about what the conversation area does, what the pipelines do, what funnels do, all sorts of builders and different things there. But yeah, you're learning your ABCs. And then in gold, you're making your words. So now that you know what the letters do.
Go back one. Oh, no, sorry.
So gold, you're putting your letters together for words. And then, like I mentioned, in each bite-sized lesson, you learn the 7 different project types. And I mean bite-sized, like I try to keep all the videos 20 minutes or under. So they're pretty quick to run through if you just want to squeeze something in real quick. And then you actually are using those processes in diamond level to then apply them to strategy challenges. And I want to know, what questions would you ask? What suggestions would you give? Would you say, hey, we can't do that, but maybe this is a solution that we can kind of do, and stuff like that. And that is very exciting to watch people figure out.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
Yeah.
I have a question there. Not a question, but like kind of like an observation for the diamond level. For anyone that's taken a college level philosophy course, there's never really a right answer, right? It's always like, what's the best way to get from your thoughts to an answer? And then that answer could be different. Like if somebody's running an agency differently than you, but the idea is like putting yourself in the situation to have to think, like a philosophy paper. There is no right answer, like the whole, whatever it is, like murder or what, obviously there's a right answer to murder, but the idea is like you're thinking. And if you think, you get to a solution. And if that solution's right or wrong, it's kind of dependent on the situation. So I love the idea of getting like to that.
Loom video explaining, show me what you built, explain to me why you built it that way. Because we want to, she wants to,
as well as a written one as well, because I want to be able to see that you can communicate both like on video as well as written. And what you were saying is huge, because there isn't a right answer, because like we mentioned, the software updates all the time. So just because right day 1, day 2, it might not be. And that's why I will always grade those manually, because I want to be able to see, just because they picked a certain checkbox doesn't mean that the third checkbox doesn't also work and do the same thing. And so, like you said, there is no right answer. There's so many different ways of doing things. And it's also really fun for me, because I learn from people going through and being like, hey, I would do it this way. And I would be like, oh, I never thought about it like that. And like, it's super cool to learn from them as well. And with all of that, we have a lot of resources, most of which the biggest one is going to be open office hours. So we have 3 sessions a week 2 are for our SaaS clients, but you're welcome to come and listen and absorb the examples, absorb what I'm teaching, everything there. Once you are certified, you're welcome, when appropriate, you're welcome to give your contact info if you can help out, stuff like that. Workbooks, we just updated a crap ton of our workbooks and guides that talk through every step of each of those 7 project types, custom fields, domains, funnels, like just workflows, and what every action means, every trigger.
And guys, if you're interested in the workbooks, they have workbooks available for free. You're not going to get the full workbook, but you're going to get a taste of what it looks like. You're going to get about half of the workbook, and they're fantastic. So you'll see exactly how she built them, how she approaches the different sections, and then obviously you'll hit a kind of a paywall. So if you want the full thing, you gotta sign up. But they're definitely worth it. So check them out. She has some free resources there.
Yeah, and then of course, you can use all of our other resources like our support live chat, support email, community, things like that, as well as you have a lot of opportunities to meet with me one-on-one, as well as those group meetings whenever you need feedback anywhere. And then, Sergio, this kind of goes to what you were saying earlier. Once you're certified, what then? Well, you have 2 options. You can either take your knowledge and run, or you can add yourself to our automation architect directory, which is going to be a page where people can come and search for people that are certified, write reviews, all sorts of different things. We're having a whole thing built right now. And that it's super great. And then so people can come and find you, whether that's high level, our personal SaaS clients, anything that way. And then they can come and hire you, connect with you, and you can start making money. Or if you are being hired, or if you're going through the certification to be trained, or as an employee, anything there, team member, you don't have to add yourself to the directory. So if you wanted to just work with your team, or you wanted to add your team as a profile rather than each individual person, that's okay too. But it's really cool because you're able to add yourself to that directory and then start making money right away. We already have a couple people, like Melissa was saying, Susie's already booked up, or one of our 3.
That's the hard part. Is we get somebody good and certified, and then they get booked up. And so we're always looking for more.
And not everybody wants to be on the directory either. So the quicker you get on the directory, the more actual eyes you're getting on yourself. So
what I'm hearing is you're giving people technical skills at a base level, then teaching them how to put things together in a way that resembles what you're showing them in strategies. Then you teach them to make up with their own things and build something that nobody has built before. And then you're helping them get those talents that they just acquired discovered.
Yep.
Right.
That sounds awesome.
So you should rename this the Entrepreneur Builder. That's what you should be naming this. The global entrepreneurial machine.
And like what she was saying, that was our original goal. And then everyone was like, "Oh, we need to use this to train." And we're like, "Hell yeah, that works too."
Yeah.
So Mark had a question a while back, a few minutes back, that actually I think it's really relevant here. Is he was asking, is this program recognized / approved by high level? And I know that you guys have a great relationship with Sean, and I know that Sean has praised what you are doing a lot, but I want to hear it from you. What can someone who goes through your program or puts one of their employees through your program, what can they expect at the output of that program in relation to the high level team and working directly with them? And I have my own ideas about this, but I want to hear from you first.
Yeah, my first initial thoughts are, like Andrew was saying, I've been on those town halls since day one, and I've been asking far too many questions, and I've probably bothered them far too many times. And so they know who we are. We've been around. Melissa joined like 6 months after they started, a year after they.
I don't know exactly, but really early.
She's been doing this for 3-4 years already with them. So we've had this relationship, like you mentioned, established for a while. And not only Melissa, but that's me as well, coming in as my own person, and then going to those town halls and asking those questions, and maybe being a little pushy on getting those answers I want, and making sure that I'm getting a direct answer so that I can then go relay that information to the certification and to the clients of ours. And so I'm always looking to see and staying updated on what they're doing, and trying to keep 1 foot ahead as much as possible, as much as they allow, and being able to do that. So the first thing is just our relationship alone, but the other one is we did do a spotlight session with Chase as well, and that was where it was kind of like this, where we explained what we did, and it was the feedback from him afterward. He was like, "Oh, we may actually look at this to train our internal team,
Train our- yeah.
of course, something like this."
Said what we all know, and that's if you go to the YouTube channel, you go to the help docs. There's a bajillion videos, and they're not in any context, and many of them are outdated, and there's no place to go to learn from A to Z. And we even had a gal who signed up, and she was a new agency owner. She wanted to learn high level. And so she signed up with us, and she was getting through the first quiz and said, wow, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. Can't you just do some multiple choice questions so I can get through this? And we're like, no, that defeats the whole point. We want it to be hard. We want you to have to go through this the same way as you would a college class, where you can say, okay, at the end of this, I
found out that my doctor that just took my tumor out of my head told me that they complained to the dean about how their tests were too hard and they wanted it to be multiple choice, I would have walked out.
Wait, let's back up. You had a tumor in your head?
No.
Okay.
But I'm just saying.
But bonus points for Chalk.
Yeah.
So that's great. And not only this program that you built is something that is incredibly well thought out. It's been out there. People have been getting awesome results from it. It's been validated by high level in the form of a spotlight. And nobody
that answers
thought to do it right.
Yeah.
But then I have another piece of value for this.
Hold on, Serge, before you continue, I was going to ask why you, and that's a great answer, is nobody's done it yet, right? Like, so like why you guys, well, you're the market leaders right now for training teams. But I wanted to say something really quick, Steph. It's never pushy. Don't ever call yourself pushy. If you were a man, you would just be asking questions. But if you're a woman, you're pushy. No, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, we're good with that.
Yeah.
Even if I was, I don't really have a problem with being pushy.
I know, but words are important. And I think you guys are fantastic. So don't ever downsell yourself like that.
Thank you.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I cannot say this enough. In 16 years of experience as a software engineer, the more someone who comes to me with a problem knows about what they're doing and knows what to expect and has a critical thinking ability to reason through, okay, this is what I expected, this is what I did, this is what came out, and it doesn't match what I expected. The ability to take all of that and wrap it into a nice little message that lets the person who's going to be helping you, in this case, I'm thinking high-level engineers and high-level project managers, it makes a world of difference. It means it makes such a big difference that it can be the difference between someone immediately jumping onto your message and paying attention to it and realizing, oh yeah, you did this thing wrong, without having to do anything else because you gave him all the context.
Yeah.
That doesn't come natural. It's not an intuitive thing.
You should see Sergio. I mean, watching you with our development team is amazing because it's like, no. Step back, like take a step back. What did you do? Do what I'm asking you to do just so I can see. Cause like this goes to how I support our customers, like ChatHQ customers. I'll go send us a Loom. People are like, what are you going to find out with a Loom? I'm like, just send me a Loom. I'm watching the Loom. I'm watching the Loom. I'm going, oh, there's the problem. And they don't see it, but I see it. Right.
Yes.
And so it's like being able to.
And that's interesting because some of I just want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Give a little tidbit. Some of those strategy challenges may be about building and some may be about looking at a Loom video and diagnosing a problem.
Right. And sometimes,
Said.
like Sergio said, you don't know how to articulate it, but if you follow the procedure of the coach or the teacher asking to pull the information, literally extracting the information out of you, and you don't fight back, that's a winning
That's
recipe.
exactly, that goes perfectly into the 7 projects I was talking about, because you're not having to reinvent the wheel every time. And that's the most overwhelming part when someone comes to you and they're like, okay, I'm trying to do this. You're like, okay, so you need a form and that. And
Yeah.
no, okay, so that sounds like an appointment plus this extra smart list. Okay, so then I'll just build out an appointment and then add the smart list. So you're not having to reinvent that wheel every time, and it's way easier to look at a request and just pick out, oh, that's that and that. That's easy. And rather than having to start from scratch. And yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And like, you're also, how often do you hire someone, and how much time and money are you losing trying to train them while also doing your own job?
Exactly to my point. Yeah. So
Yeah.
giving yourself and your team.
And you're guaranteeing that they have that knowledge, that baseline amount of knowledge they can do up to this point minimum. And then from there, it's just their experience.
Opportunity costs, people. Opportunity costs.
Because it's lifetime. And because it's lifetime, if stuff updates, you can just come back and watch the new video.
This is pretty much your full-time job.
It is.
It's just,
and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, what is 1 hour of Sean's life worth? What me and Sergio, what is 1 hour worth of our time compared to having to literally go do it ourselves or train somebody else to do
I'll
it?
even show
Andrew, you've got somebody going through the course right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll even show you one of these first lessons. So you
that's
can
it. Really quick though, Steph. That's a great segue, and we'll get to this in a little bit. The partnership of ChatHQ and Cultivating Sales is going to involve the content that they are building for you and your teams, repurposed into a white labeled, into our knowledge base, our guides and our quizzes, in a setting that your customers can digest without giving away that it's high level, right? And so my VA or VAs are going through it, and they're learning and they're applying knowledge and information to the knowledge base, to the interactive guides, and to the quizzes, so that we can say, hey, look at what you and your team learned from Cultivating Sales. Now teach that to your customers without giving away that it's high level, right? Because 99% of the people watching this are going to go, well, I'm not going to send my customer to this program, right? There's no reason to do that.
Right.
But you train 4 or 5 team members. Now your team are rock stars. They know exactly what they're doing. And then you get ChatHQ, or a lot of people watching this already have ChatHQ stuff. Now your customers can learn from that too. So good segue, but I'll let you take it away again, Steph. You're about to.
Yeah, I was just gonna, and if you're doing teams, since we're on the topic, you definitely will want to listen to the offer later. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But,
that's right. That's right.
This is an example of one of the lessons. So this is one of the first ones where we talk about how to log in and set up your own profile. That's it. That's all we tackle in this video. It's, what is this? 7-minute video that's what we talk about. And then we say, okay, what are the key takeaways that we're going to do in this video? Then we go and do it. And then we go back and recap what those key takeaways were again, so we can really solidify the understanding of that lesson. And then you go in and there's instructions, and I'm asking you, go into your Builder account and customize your user settings, right? And then mark this lesson as complete and go to the next one. And then the next one, it's the same thing. And I'm always adding, like, I'm literally always tweaking and adding and improving. I'm in the middle of re-recording all the videos. All the workbooks were just updated. I'm always going in and adding notes. So if something updated and I haven't had a chance to update the video yet, I'll put a little note, hey, this little thing, you'll notice this. You can come to open office hours, ask questions, everything. It's
And guys, right now, so we haven't gotten a price or anything yet, but I'm telling you right now, it's a steal. They have so much content in these 3 courses, and the fact that it's lifetime is unreal, right? So trust me, I have a lot of lifetime customers for ChatHQ's GHL stuff are probably going to watch this or are in here now. You guys know the value of something that's going to be there for, even if it's only for a couple of years, right? When we say LTD, 2 years, comparing that price to a monthly charge, which I'm sure you guys will eventually get to. This stuff is not easy to do. It's not cheap to do. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it, man.
Love to hear it more.
By the way, Mark, I think you're in Jacksonville. We should definitely link up soon and get some coffee or something. So you know, it's a huge opportunity for you guys to train yourself and your team for life in high level, and you know, just take advantage of that. So, I got another guy in the waiting room here.
Yeah, and even if you get certified, you can come back and ask strategy questions on those, because the Thursday open office hours are certification people only. So even if you get certified and you're working with someone and you get stumped, come join and we can talk about
That
it.
is, I think, the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Susie, as we mentioned before, Susie works with a number of our clients, and we don't expect the client to come ask, how should Susie do this? Susie comes and says, hey,
Yeah.
we were brainstorming what would be the best way to do this? And our job is then to be there for you guys to be, as you're working either with clients or if you're a team member, the same kind of thing. You need somebody to come back and talk to about.
And of course, we're not support, so I'm not going to be able to answer every technical glitch and things like that. That's going to be support's domain.
Right.
But for
So-
me, like, I'm anywhere else pretty much.
We have a
Yeah,
few
right.
questions in the chat from Don that I think are close to what we're talking about here. If you don't mind, he's asking, how would a team work, and would each of the employees that will be using high level be able to go through the program and testing, or is it just for one person?
Yeah, so the right now it's $19.97 per certificate. So that is because I'm spending that one-on-one time with them a lot. I'm grading those quizzes, making sure everything, they get that lifetime access again. So it is per certificate. So if you are training your team, you would be paying that per price per person. With that being said, there is an offer later you might want to listen to, but
you could just tell them now, Steph.
yeah, okay.
Just-
I didn't
just
know
drop
what
it.
we were like.
Yeah,
what-
just drop it. Yeah.
But yeah, there's going. Let me grab the link for that quick too. But you can sign up. If you sign up within the next 7 days, you can get, if you buy one, you can get another one 50% off. So that's 2 certificates, one full price, one 50% off. So let me grab that link quick. Copy.
There's another person on the call, Morgan Johnson.
Yeah.
She's quiet right now, but we hired Morgan first 2 weeks. We had her do nothing but go through the course. And by the time she got her certificate, she went right out and was starting to build stuff.
Yeah, the only reason it took her longer is because we were giving her other projects to do.
Giving her more stuff to do because we saw how fast she was learning.
Yeah. Hey, so let me go back to that price though,
Yeah.
Steph. So are you guys going to be, are you guys doing any sort of promotion for if they buy? We talked about some yesterday. You had 2, or are you just going to do the 1?
It is going to just be the 1 since there is a lot of back end work on it, but
Sure.
it is going to be buy 1, get 1 50% off, and it's only for the next 7 days. So that is until the 14th.
Oof. All right.
So you want that?
Act
you gotta
now,
look
guys.
that
Act
up
now.
now. But with that, if you wanted to do like a big group team, just reach out to me directly and we can talk about that, because that's where we can look at a group buy or, something like that.
Yeah. And so just to hammer that home, this is also, you're paying for the certification, right? You're paying for the fact that you're going to get the 3 courses. You can take the exams. Her rubric is crazy, right? She shared it with me. It's college level stuff. And then you get certification. And then the back end of all of this, you're going to have the opportunity to, I don't know where the teams for agencies would fit in, but to be in the marketplace as well and have that certification be promoted and shown off to everyone else. So
the certificate you get even integrates with LinkedIn. So the minute you get the certificate, you post it on LinkedIn and do all that. And
yeah, so it's super legit. And as more people go through this, they're going to get recognized in the community. I mean, look at the job network. Look at how everyone here has posted in the job network. It's an absolute mess. Sean, Robin, I'm sorry if you hear this, but it is a disaster. Half the people don't know what they're doing when they say, I want a job. The other half say that they want a job, and then they like the terms are all messed up. Like you say, hey, I got a job for $8 an hour. They're asking for 12. It's an absolute mess. So this will give you the opportunity to say, oh, this person's certified by Cultivating Sales. I know they know what they're talking about. I know they're worth this amount of hourly wage or this amount of project wage. So there's a lot of benefits to actually putting everyone through this certification course.
Well, and it's also, people are going to be able to rate them. So just like any other service, just because they're certified, if they go off the rails and just do a horrible job for somebody,
Or they get certified and they never stay updated after that point.
Yeah.
It's gonna. Yeah.
Yes, so $19.97 per certification. And the promo for the next 7 days is buy one, get one 50% off.
Yep.
So what the page will do is you purchase the first, just to make sure we're getting all the registrations for each person set up right. You purchase the first one, set up the first person, and then you do the second one after that. So if you do take up that offer, that is what to expect there. But yeah, it is per certificate. And that, again, that's lifetime. So anytime there's a new feature or new updates, and I update the videos, I update workbooks, come to open office hours, you can always go back to those lessons and review them.
He also does a transcript for each video. So if you want to go back and go, God, I just want to watch that one part she talks about this, then you can look at the transcript and know, oh, that's at 5 minutes and 36 seconds. You just go in and watch that part.
Right.
I love
about the certification. Can someone who has not gone through the training and who has not gone, or maybe went through the training but didn't get the certificate or didn't get it yet, would that person be allowed to be listed in your directory? No. Right. So the
you
certificate
have to be fully certified through our program alone to be on the directory. So that means that anybody going and hiring someone there knows that they have that baseline knowledge and that they've passed the curriculum. And every day it's getting harder. So it's it's funny because that when we were talking earlier about the person that wanted it multiple choice, literally hours before I got that email, I was in the process of making the questions harder. And I was like, oh, sorry. But it's always getting harder because there's more and more stuff to learn and there's more and more capability and features and stuff. So it's
right. So I'm thinking, what are scenarios where someone might decide they need to invest in a certification program like this? So far I got someone who's a freelancer and wants to separate themselves from everybody else, claiming that they can build stuff in high level. So it's showing proof that you have gone through the hard stuff and that someone graded your progress and your knowledge with a really in-depth look. So it helps you stand from the rest. I also can think of someone building a business around helping other agencies in high level, putting their employees through the training and gaining recognition from that. And I can think of someone training their own staff and knowing that it's just, in that scenario, I would consider it essentially an insurance policy on my employees, right? I know that, yes, I'm going to spend this amount of money. I know that they're going to go there. And if they come out successful, if they come successful out of that experience, I know that I can trust them with my client's stuff that is worth, $500,000 if it goes belly up, right?
Yeah.
And finally, and finally, if I am hiring somebody, I want to know that they're not gonna break my stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to know that they're not gonna
break it all you want in your
time.
free builder account.
I know that they're not going to break my client's location. I know that they're not going to waste my time or my client's time. I know that they have been through it before and that they have taken the time to think about what is the best way to accomplish this, time-wise, complexity-wise, meeting criteria. So that's 4 things. Is there anything, any other scenario that you have seen that might be useful there?
So Serge, really quick, let me touch on this because something that was asked in the chat Don asked about the team stuff. They just wanted to train. They don't want to get a certificate. Here's the thing is like, we all know, and Steph and Melissa, you guys are going to hate me for saying this. We all know that anyone can access training, right? Like you have the login credentials, you can access training. There's two things here. And I know that this is probably Steph, you probably already got this set up. You're going to get access to silver. When you go through silver, you have to take the exam, and Stephanie hand grades the exams. Mm-hmm. You cannot go through it if you're not a member. She's going to see it and go, "Oh, I'm not going to give this person access." Yeah, it's not a person. So you can't, sharing it and stuff like that. It's going to be. I mean, it's really. Not only is it immoral, but like it's going to be very tough to do. And then
you're also agreeing to not do that on the contract.
On the contract,
so but then not doing that.
And I don't think Don would do this. I'm not saying that. It just made me think of this on the question. Totally. Soon, High Level is going to have OAuth login for memberships. They already have it for their regular. I guarantee they're going to start pushing that for membership logins. It's going to be a lot harder to share credentials because you physically have to authorize. Yeah, he said that's why. Yeah. And so the idea here is like, I don't think, and I'm speaking for you guys, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you guys are trying to restrict people from helping each other. Like if I have a team and I have somebody that's going through the certification, sure, help each other out.
That's why we have the Thursdays. We want people to come and have those group sessions, right, and talk through those examples. Yeah.
Right. But the goal here is like you're paying for completion. The idea
you're
is
only hurting yourself.
Yeah. And like I'm paying to complete this. It's like going to a college level course. You can actually go to Harvard and go sit in on any class you want. You won't get the grade and you won't get the the recognition, but you can go sit in on any course. Like me and my wife just went to Boston. We were going to go hang out at Harvard and we never did. But yeah, that's the idea. Is like it's all about you guys. And I think if you're just looking to train your people, you don't care about the marketplace, things like that. Talk to Steph, work something out. I'm sure you guys will start adapting your value proposition for people in Don's position, where it's like, I got a team of 8 people. I want to train them all. I don't really necessarily need the certification. Can I give you, $1,000 a piece or something and train them all? And I think
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, totally reach out to me because depending on the number of people you got and what you're trying to do.
The other thing that Steph's the master of workflows. So she's built it out that, let's say, let's say you're putting 3 people through and you're seeing that Mary and Bob, you get a text when they get halfway through silver. And so you as the owner are getting updated, and yet Mary or Tim or whatever still hasn't even started silver. You're gonna get on Tim and find out, why haven't you moved through this yet? Because we still have some people that signed up and paid and they're still in silver weeks later. That's a choice they've made. Unfortunately, now we nurture them like crazy to keep them going, and she's offering appointments and all kinds of things to keep them going. But if they don't move forward, you need to know that if you've paid for them to go through.
And I'm sure as heck not certifying or putting someone on the directory that isn't. So these are a bunch of the back end workflows. People find them interesting, so I like showing them. So like each level, like you're getting access to each level individually, you're getting things with each level. And then I have it when you mark everything as complete, it automatically sends you those quizzes. When it's submitted, it automatically lets me know and says, hey, go do it, go grade it, sending those progress updates to a phone number you want to send them to. So if you want to know who's going through and how fast and when they're working on it, stuff like that. When they submitted the quiz, as well as if they pass, if they fail, like you're getting all of these progress updates and all of that stuff. And
yeah, and guys, if you're using ChatHQ or you plan on using ChatHQ, the workspaces, that's it. Oh, look at that. Hey, that's our start help guide. We're going to be working with Steph very soon. We talked about this yesterday to get their ChatHQ set up for management of courses, so communication between her and you guys, also recognition and tracking for so replacing emails and all that stuff, sending all the notifications to ChatHQ. But also, if you guys end up getting workspaces from us, we'll do the same, set it up the same way, where not only are you going to be able to communicate with Steph, you're going to be able to have your own ChatHQ, track all of your employees' progress, have all the notifications, communicate with those teams directly in your ChatHQ. So there's a lot of synergy there with coaching and how ChatHQ workspaces work together.
Always
So,
improving.
The biggest
Yeah.
thing for both of ours, and this is why it made so much sense to partner together, is we just want to make it easier for agencies to get up and running.
That's the biggest thing. Like I said, we're all sick of hiring someone and then them not knowing what they said they knew. So this is
Yeah.
a way to just avoid all that. And
And
also,
when you're first
Sergio,
starting,
yeah.
some of them started like me, where it was just me. It was just me, and I can only do so much. So I need to learn as quickly as possible. And what you guys know this, when we all started, there wasn't a chase, there wasn't any videos, there wasn't
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. God, there was no support either.
Nothing.
It's terrible.
So people complain now, and I'm like, oh gosh.
And if
Yeah.
if high levels come this far and how long, it's really cool to see where what this will all turn into as well. And
For sure.
Sergio, you were talking earlier about those use cases and like training an employee, training yourself, wanting to be your own entrepreneur as a VA. Andrew, we were talking about in what you were just saying, your buddy that manages a bunch of VAs. Like if you manage and source and manage those VAs as well, that's a perfect thing to get people. You source them, you say go through the certification, and then I'll manage you from there. And
we've got one small VA firm in there right now. They've got 2 people in there, and they want those 2 people to be their key high level people. And then the other,
most of this stuff isn't stuff that you can't find on high level, and I'm not saying that it's definitely different, but it's
organized, it's structured,
laid out. Do this, click there, enter this, done.
Like that's where we got our ideas for our interactive guides is we literally were like, okay, you can watch a 10 or 12-minute Loom video that from high level from 3 years ago that probably has no relevance now, or you can just click a button.
Yeah.
Right. Like what's the and then obviously for us it was unbranded, so like people can't just watch those videos. But hey, really quick though, Serge, we're coming up on the hour. I want to give people the opportunity to come on live if they have a question. So anybody that's watching, we got a few people in the Facebook group that's watching. We got 12 people, well 12 minus us, so we got about 8 people in here. If you guys want to come on live, turn on your video or just audio, I can unmute you. I don't know if I can ask you to be unmuted on my end, and you can ask a question. We can try to answer that question for you. Does anybody want to raise their hand? I can see if you guys just click the raise hand button, I think. If not, well, we can move past it if nobody has any questions.
Susie, would I be able to call on you and have you just kind of explain what you've gone through?
Sure.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. I was really nervous. I knew I wanted to do the certification, and I was really nervous about it, just being a middle-aged woman and having to study and like figure stuff out. I promise I won't swear on here.
That's okay. We encourage it.
That's okay. We encourage it.
It's pretty much half of my recorded videos are all that.
All right. So, but Stephanie did such a great job on walking me through the whole process. You wouldn't believe how many times I go back to her workbooks and refer to something before I go to support and say, okay, what's going on here? So she just did such a thorough job, and she really, those workflows work for nudging me like, hey, you got to do this. Because I appreciate that, because otherwise things just drop off. You buy a course and it just sits there,
How many of us have ever been nurtured for a course that we've bought?
Yeah.
Not much.
I even when I was paying to go to Winona State, I barely did that.
Yep.
Yeah, but I just can't say enough good things about, the platform itself and what you guys have done with the course and making it easy, and it's stuff that you will be doing with your clients, so it's totally applicable.
Yep.
Yeah, because we're not going above and beyond and teaching. I mean, I could never teach API, geez, but can't
never
imagine
say
that
never.
No spoilers.
Well, if you want to come, make a little lesson for the certification, I will stop you. But we're not going above and beyond into these very crazy, like just ridiculous use cases. It's very, very like realistic and applicable. And that's why those, like I said, those 7 projects, they can apply anywhere.
Well, and one of the resources they get the electronic version. We also have a paper version of our project planning sheet. And I know this is phenomenal. So if you're working with a client, there's these sections on here where you basically go through, okay, what's the project name? What's the launch date? What are the deliverables? What's the pricing? What's the sales goal? How are you going to promote it? Are you going to need a form? Are you going to need a calendar? What are we going to name those? So if you fill out this form with the client and you get back, you got to build it, it's all right here. It's all right here. And by electronic, you're able to store it in a Dropbox or someplace where then the rest of the team goes in and sees, oh, okay, we named, because you guys know naming things is critical. And so if you think about that in advance.
Yeah, you should see Sergio's. I mean, I thought my folder, my Windows and Mac folders were organized. Sergio is about 10 times more organized.
I bet Sergio and I would have so much fun.
Yeah, I know. Me and you get along. Our OCD matches really well, Steph, but Sergio's on a whole new level. That's why we're such good partners.
Oh, yeah.
And that project planning sheet is just one of many too, which is really.
She built the workflow Bible. Every possible action is always updated. It's a Google Doc because it's always being changed. But you literally, she has little worksheets. So if this, I want this, this, and this to happen. And if you think those things through, and the reason we call it an automation architect is by the time you get to Diamond, we want you to be able to say to the client, all right, let me hear what you want. And I'm going to pull all that together and I'm going to go build it for you. And you have, we use the acronym, plan, assemble, execute. You plan first. It's not as sexy as assembling, but you can't assemble effectively if you haven't planned in advance.
Yeah. Has anybody ever bought something off Amazon and gotten a 1-page sheet? It's put it together. It's like, no.
I think you're talking about IKEA, and I have a bunch of those.
No. IKEA is good. IKEA is good. Amazon, not so good.
All right, well, we're going to have a talk about that.
Plan,
I'm sorry, Melissa.
execute. So once you've got it assembled, then you first you test it, then you turn it on. And I can't tell you how many times, you guys all know this, the first question is it still in draft? And did you test before you ran it? Because we all get those calls.
My favorite one is when people tell me the start help guide button's not working. I'm like, are you logged into your white label domain? Like, oh no, I go into app.gohighlevel.com. I'm like, okay, that's why we don't allow that to be on that domain. So it's the smallest thing.
He's putting something together right now. We inspired.
Yeah, look at
that. Good to have you.
What's up, Nico? I saw your comments in the Facebook group, by the way, man. Thanks.
Appreciate are there any other questions that we should tackle?
Yeah, any other questions or anything?
Yeah, okay. So it doesn't look like we got some people in here still. It doesn't look like anybody has any questions. You guys can always reach out to us outside of this call.
I'll put that, I'm gonna put that link to that page again. It's events.cultivatingsales.com/ChatHQ for anybody that doesn't have access to the chat here. But that is the link where you can take us up on our offer, as well as read other amazing tidbits about ChatHQ, their white label support, which we also have, and it's so helpful, and especially when it all goes together. And, when will the help guide have all the wonderful Stephanie touches to it?
Yeah, so that is something that's in the works. That's where this partnership was kind of created from, is we want to be able to bring all of that awesome sauce over to the white label version of what we offer. So that'll be in the works. So we'll keep you updated. I mean, who asked that? Is that Don who asked that question? Don, you should know your inbox is probably flooded with my dumb face. I'm updating those things all the time, and I'm pushing a bunch of promotional stuff all the time. So we will definitely let you guys know as soon as we get all that rocking and rolling. And anyone that's here, well, let's see who's all here. Okay, so yeah, we have some ChatHQ customers, some not. if you guys want to join us, we're starting weekly calls for ChatHQ, kind of like training. They're going to be town halls in a way, like High Level had. This is mainly for the ChatHQ workspaces because it's a monolith, and we're adding more software solutions to it. So we will answer questions and field questions about the help guides and the knowledge base and things like that, but mainly about our main product feature, which is the workspaces, the live chat, and coming soon, the N8N Zapier replacement. So if you guys want to do that, it's every Tuesday, Friday, 3 p.m. I think Eastern. I got to double check. You're probably in the email list. You'll probably get an email at some point. So yeah, that's shameless plug on my end. Second shameless plug is if you guys buy Cultivating Sales, the certification course, you will get a discount on our monthly help guides and knowledge base. So we're doing a 40% discount. You have to verify that you are a Cultivating Sales customer. And obviously you can't have already have our product, or well, if you have the monthly, that's fine. But if you bought the lifetime deal, unfortunately, we're not going to give you a 40% refund on that, because we love you, but that's just not happening. So
I don't know how long you live first.
yeah. So if you are not a current customer of ChatHQ's high level stuff, our support bundle, and you become a Cultivating Sales customer, you'll get a 40% discount on our monthly price, which brings it just under $100, I believe. So that is my shameless plug number 2 for everyone that's listening.
That's 90% off between the two of us.
Yeah, that's pretty fantastic. So.
Yeah. Did you also talk about how to get those freebie?
Yeah, they're on the page. So if you go to that events.cultivatingsales.com/ChatHQ, you will be able to download those freebie workbooks where you can get a pretty hefty view of what those workbooks will do for you.
Yep. Cool. Okay, so if there's no other questions, let's see where. Awesome. So no other questions.
Do you have anything on the Facebook Live? Just want to make sure that
any plans to train customers? Yeah, so that's a great question, Glenn. No plans on our end. We're in consideration. We're in talks with potentially doing a white labeled chat support, email ticketing. We don't know exactly where that's going to go yet. We're trying to get that off the ground. But as far as training customers, the goal here is to get your customers using ChatHQ's unbranded products. Training customers.
The certification will be far too overwhelming for them, in my opinion, because that's where we talk a lot about back-end things and high level and stuff like that, which
I know Glenn, I love you, buddy. What you're asking essentially is like, we would have to fragment our training to individual agency branding and like individual agency setups and outputs, and it's just not possible, right? So I think individual training is out of the picture, but that's where our partnership is going to really take effect, is the level of education that you're getting or somebody's getting from the certification is going to be transferred over to our unbranded stuff. So everything that we possibly could add, we're going to try to add. We're also adding mini quizzes. I don't know if you've heard that, Glenn, but we're going to start adding those mini quizzes at the bottom of our articles and our help guides, so that if your customers are going through and they're like, yeah, cool, I saw a bunch of highlighted buttons, I don't know if I'll remember that tomorrow, they can click on that link and they'll just go to a 5 to 7 question quiz to try to really establish that educational aspect of it. So hope that answers your question, bud.
Yeah.
And if there's a need, is that Glenn Wasserman? Because
that's Mr. Glenn. That's the one and only.
We might find a way to develop something. Let us know.
Yeah.
She's going, I'm not doing it.
Little webhooks to a certification. Yeah, I do talk a little bit about webhooks in the certification and the workbooks or the workflow side, but don't go too deep into it yet. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So one thing I think, and maybe we can end it on this, but I think a lot. No, we don't have to. But I think this is a good thing to say to agency owners is, like what Steph said, overwhelming your customers is bad, right? I mean, like at the end of the day, the only reason software is so sticky is because it becomes adopted. If you can adopt a software, you're there for life, right? So if
Yeah.
you're trying to teach people about webhooks, I think Nico, this is your question. If you're trying to teach people about webhooks, you're giving them kind of like you're putting them deeper and deeper and deeper into that world of like, now you have to learn all of these other things just to stay sticky. And so while it's good education and good knowledge, you could get that stuff on YouTube and just apply it, but it's harder to keep people around if you're constantly throwing more complex stuff at them, right? And I think webhooks is one of those things. It's a little bit more on the advanced side. And like a small business owner is going to go, I don't know, Nico, you do it for me, man.
But
So,
that's not to
yeah. He's
say-
like, yeah, I've probably heard that question a million times.
and
Yeah,
there's
but
totally.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steph.
I was just gonna say, and that's not to say that like you guys as help guides and stuff won't cover that. And we have other
Right.
little free courses like tips and tricks and stuff where we add little stuff like that where you can enhance that. But yeah, the certification itself is gonna more talk about the software and how to use it natively. But I love definitely hit it for sure.
Yeah, gamification, that's a great point, Nico. Gamification's awesome.
Yeah.
Keeps normal people, right, in the educational mindset. They're learning while they're playing and stuff. Funny thing, I'll talk to you about this afterwards, Serge, but there's this software that you can brand your own video game. It's like a super simple video game, like a mobile game, and it's all branded for your brand, and people play it and get like rewards for playing it. You can add, like,
It's
CTAs
all
and stuff.
I told you, it's all about the dopamine. It moves people. So yes, gamification definitely.
Yeah, Nico,
As people progress, giving them feedback. Hey, great, you're done here. This is one of the reasons I like the course being broken into 3 modules and each of them meaning something in itself, because it gives the person going through the process,
pat on
hey,
the back.
look at all of what you've done. You're great, you're awesome, right? So I love that.
And to make sure you're not
Cool.
going through all of it and then realize you actually misunderstood what forms do. And now everything that you've learned now is, oh wait, is that actually right now? I don't know, right? So you're making sure that what you're learning is correct, and then before you start piggybacking off of that.
Yep.
Yeah, it creates a mini story for advancement. I love that description.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I think let's see if Glenn.
Glenn's saying that the question was more for Melissa.
Cultivating
Stephanie,
sales.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah, you could put your customers through, but yeah, like I said, it definitely would be overwhelming. And that's where the unbranded knowledge base would be super helpful. But we're not gonna kick you out. If they can't handle it, they can handle it.
Glenn, so the branding aspect would be the tough part, right?
Yeah.
So
And we have no
hiding high
plans,
level.
we have no immediate plans to white label, since this has so much so much effort behind it from me that I really do want to keep it just our brand right now, but don't know about in the future, but right now we have no plans for that.
Yeah, I think that's the key too, is that's why our partnership makes so much sense here is the certification wouldn't be as strong if it was white label, like unbranded. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about the things you would have to hide and the things you couldn't show in a video.
Melissa and I talked about that, and I was like, well, no, because like in every video, I want to be able to go into our account, and yeah, it's all blurred out for contact record information and stuff, but I want to be able to show you what it looks like in an actual application. And being able to talk about, okay, so for us, we do it in this way to show you examples in real life use cases, and by doing that white label, it does become very hard.
Well, even with our own clients, we've always been very open about high level. We explain from the beginning, really, this is a platform like WordPress, only it's high level, and we customize it.
And there's nothing wrong with having other people train, by the way. I just want to say that too. Like, we're not taking your clients or having them come to our software or anything like that. Like, you do a great job with your people, and we're good. We're fine with that. But like the certification, like you could, does that make sense what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But some agencies are very quiet about high level. So it would be hard to hide high level in a high level training.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you got certified for what? Like
For what?
And like Andrew was saying, when you start breaking it down per agency, it does like, and like I said, we've played around with the idea of white label, but then it's like, okay, do we give people everything but the videos, because the videos are they change so often, you don't want to have to be updating those, you like all of that, let me
Right.
do that, let
Yeah.
me
Right.
take all of
Mhm.
that off your shoulders, and you just pay for them to put them through, and don't worry about the rest of it. Let me worry about updating the videos, me worry about updating the workbooks, stuff like that.
Cool.
Mhm.
Well, listen, guys, we're 11 past the hour. I just want to recap a little bit. Cultivating Sales, you can get a buy one, get one 50% off discount at the link. It's going to be in the description of this video, all over, wherever this video is, it's in the chat right now. And if you are a Cultivating Sales customer, if you buy using this promotion, we're going to give you a 40% discount on our ultimate GHL support bundle, the unbranded knowledge base and the user guides or the help guides. So I want to thank Stephanie Blair and Melissa Blair for coming on, guys. You've been awesome today. Thank you so much. This webinar is probably,
Thank you
I
for
think it's
having
our
us.
first. Is our first surge? Maybe, I don't
I
know.
think it's gonna be the second, because we had
Second.
done one before with all in one.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
And we want to promote our partners, and we see a really big, awesome future with you guys. And we're so happy to have you on here. So thank you so much for
you.
being a part of this. And
Yeah.
thank you everyone for watching. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much. And we hope to see everyone soon.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You
guys.
have 7 days to get Stephanie and Melissa's offer.
7 days.
7 days.
All right. Thanks,
Have a
guys.
good one,
Have a
guys.
great one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.